It's July 8, 2022, and if you can believe it, it's a Friday once again.
That's right. It is a Friday once again. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Easy Listening for the Apocalypse, the podcast where we do the doom scrolling for you. My name is Tony Torrico. I am one of your hosts, and this is
Brandon Burns, your local OC trash boy.
Yes, nothing better than a local OC trash boy.
We all need one.
Yeah, every podcast needs to have one irritating white guy to yell at.
It's a requirement, actually.
Yeah.
I think when we decided to start this, we got paperwork. We had to file it, and they required one local OC trash boy, white boy.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us on episode 1 of our podcast. Last week, we did do like a test stream that essentially is episode 0, but we didn't turn on video on demand.
It was taken into the ether.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a part of the stars now.
So unfortunately, that is the lost episode. You will never be able to hear my pitch to buy the Anaheim Angels.
Well, hold on. Keep it a secret.
Okay, all right.
Keep that pitch a secret. We don't want to be giving that magic away.
It's
the MLB will steal it.
It's a secret. It's a secret. It's a secret.
It's a secret.
This is the podcast where we do the doom scrolling for you. If you've looked out a window or online or anything, you might have noticed that things seem to be falling apart.
What?
Yeah.
No. It's impossible.
Politically, our society, everything seems to be kind of in a really shitty place. So this is a place for us to be angry, for you to be angry with us, for you to make solutions that we might not be able to say directly on stream.
But also, there's a whole lot of goofs.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of giggles.
There's goofs and giggles. So anytime we get a little too apocalyptic up in here, we're going to try to bring it back down.
We go to a place of zen.
Yeah.
Calm.
We definitely need to.
We really recenter ourselves, which is actually we definitely want to explain more about the podcast we're going to be doing, but just to throw ourselves right into it, we all, I think, need to get to a place of calmness.
Yeah.
And something that me and Tony love to do. We love to just go through the news of today, the news of tomorrow, and the news of yesteryear, and do a little bit of ASMR reading, a little bit of ASMR calmness.
Absolutely. So we're going to be reading some headlines in some ASMR voices. So in order to do this, we're going to need help from some Tibetan singing bowls. Get that going. Oh yeah.
Ooh, I already feel a wave of calmness.
Nice and relaxing right there. So let's start with what's in the news today. I'll go ahead.
Yeah, please, Tony, if you don't mind, just go ahead and start it.
Thank you. A Chuck Schumer-aligned dark money nonprofit raked in a record $105 million from anonymous donors, tax forms show.
Hey, where'd Michael Flynn go? The Atlantic.
Live news update. U.S. to send $400 million of military equipment to Ukraine.
Speaking of war in Russia and Ukraine, Putin warns Ukraine and their Western allies about future of war. Quote, "We haven't even started yet."
Probe finds the U.S. border agents used, quote, unnecessary force against migrants.
And finally, never mind. There's gonna be two
There's
more.
gonna be the second penultimate.
Yeah, the penultimate ASMR headline. With ultra-contagious BA5 rising, how close is LA to an indoor COVID mask mandate once again?
And finally, War, protest, and spiking prices. How spiraling inflation is setting the world on fire. Fire.
Just on fire.
Oh,
And that alert tells us that we have come to the end of ASMR headlines.
yes.
One more
it-
alert says we have gone on too long and we must move on from the bit, or else if they charm again, we both pass away.
Oh, we did it. We did it.
We did it, folks.
We did it, everybody.
That was really sweet of the Bulls to give us that warning.
Yeah. I didn't think they were going to help us out there, but they really did.
They did.
We want to shout out to some people who are in the chat. Thanks so much for being here. Amber, VO Caleb, and Courtney, thanks for being here. We really, really appreciate it. For our very first episode. If you all would like to see us talk about anything over the podcast, let us know. Let us know in the chat, and we'll throw some stuff up on there. Otherwise, we're just going to get rolling right into the stuff that we had to discuss.
News of today.
The news of today. And what's the news this week? Well, it turns out this week is a bad week to be a prime minister.
Yikers!
Oh boy, because quite a lot has happened to prime ministers.
Some pretty bad stuff.
Yes, some pretty bad stuff indeed. So if you don't know this yet, Shinzo Abe, the former Japanese prime minister, was assassinated. And along with what happened, we'll talk about what happened with the former prime minister of Japan in a second. But of course, our favorite fuck up, the doofiest motherfucker I think I've ever seen in my entire fucking life.
Yeah, the man who has hair like a cartoon character.
And flops around like a fish. The inevitable has happened. Boris Johnson is to resign as Prime Minister of Britain after mounting scandals and resignation. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced his resignation as leader of the Conservative Party on Thursday, following a wave of departures from his government, including senior cabinet members. The party will choose a new leader and the country's next prime minister in the coming days. In the past weeks, 59 members of parliament have resigned from the government, and on Wednesday night, a group of cabinet members went to 10 Downing Street to urge Johnson to step down. This week's resignation came as Johnson faced increasing criticism for promoting a member of the Conservative Party who was accused of sexual misconduct. This was one lie too far, says Priya Gopal. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I definitely did. English professor at the University of Cambridge. Gopal says Johnson's resignation was more or less inevitable, and the next prime minister is, quote, likely to be a very strong Brexiteering ideologue.
I always love when someone gets like fired or resigns, they're always like, this was one lie too far. This was the straw that broke the camel's back, I tells ya.
This guy's a fucking idiot for forever.
Day one. Do you remember when the London Olympics happened and he ziplined across like a London area and he just hung there like a goofy goober?
This guy, I fucking hate this guy so much. And you know what? I think that his stupid antics are just a way to distract from his horrible politics.
Oh, 100%. 100%. If he can play the lovable goofy guy, he can get away with horrible things.
I think the absolute best quote from this is him resigning and saying, I'm sad to give up the best job in the world, but them's the breaks.
Them is the frigga breaks.
I can't.
If that was written, if that was in a comedy, like if that was in Veep, I'd be like, what a great line. What a great line. An actual human politician said that. Them's the breaks.
Like Porky Pig levels of politicians at this point. Like, that's all, folks.
I will say though, I'm going to be honest. I would love to see Porky Pig in office. I think he would have some good policy decisions.
Right? War in Ukraine. We're gonna need to send $400 billion in order to rebuild the economy.
Oh, good God.
Okay, Caleb wants to know who's our first draft pick for the next prime minister.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna go with a little bit of a hometown favorite. I'm going the Beckham.
Like,
you know what I'm talking about.
Like,
I think he's got that footy experience, that big football leg. He can kick down some policies. He can really break down those borders with that strong right leg of his. He's got a great international presence, and I just think he would make a great sequel.
in politics like Beckham. Thank you so much.
In politics like Beckham. Man, I should have said that line. I'm sad I couldn't come up with a good one.
I'm going Baby Spice, okay?
Baby
I think Baby
Spice.
Spice is not only going to rule England with an iron pacifier, but I think, I've heard nothing but good things about Baby Spice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think, she really, really wants it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
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 We're gonna reach out.
Tell me what she wants. What she really, really wants.
I think what she really, really wants is to be prime minister.
I actually, if we're honest here, I think if the entire Spice Girls are just the cabinet, I think we would have a successful Brexit.
How fucking fly would that cabinet look, though?
It would look. I mean, it would be the best cabinet. I think the Queen would have to just immediately die because she wouldn't. Her outfits would be unimportant because the Spice Girls would trounce her.
Downing Street would be the hottest fucking club in London.
Oh my gosh. I mean, already you have that great camera angle of like when people enter and exit, and then you would just have basically a fashion walkway every single time they come and go from 10 Downing Street. I mean, it would actually absolutely be, it would be an always live Twitch stream of people watching that.
So we're going to move into our next story. I know we are having a little weird reverb things. It does sound, I'm glad it sounds angelic. Last week he did sound like a robot. We're trying to fix these issues. It's a weird mic thing. We're figuring it out.
It's episode one.
It's episode one.
Ooh, we're all smooth and
So,
living.
back to the no down bad week prime ministers have had. One got shot.
That is not how you introduce that.
One got shot. Yep. Shinzo Abe, former Japanese prime minister, was assassinated. A powerful figure amongst Japan's right wing. Abe was an apologist for. Yeah, I know, true. But my transitions are legendary. Who got shot? Guess who else got shot? It's going to be a running theme throughout this episode today. You're going to see a lot of how Abe was like he was such an incredible leader and things like that. And that's going to be like mourning. This is not a fucking good guy. Abe was an apologist for Imperial Japan, war crimes, supposed U.S. imperialist efforts in the Asia Pacific. Let's take a look at a couple of things that this guy did. Abe was a member of a fascist group. Yeah, they claim imperialist Japan's war crimes were exaggerated or fabricated and praised Japanese colonialisms for, quote, liberating Asia in the West. That was in 2014. Abe praised his grandfather, who played a leadership role for Imperial Japan. At the end of World War II, Kishi was imprisoned as a suspected Class A war criminal, but the U.S. government never charged him. Instead, he became Japan's prime minister. Really great. Abe also visited this particular shrine on multiple occasions, despite opposition from China and Korea. The shrine enshrines Japan's war criminals. You will actually, I've seen a lot more information about this roll out today, but Abe refused acknowledgement of Japan's World War II sexual slavery, known as euphemistically as the comfort women system. He disavowed and considered repealing the 1993 Kono Statement, which acknowledged and apologized to comfort women. In 2015, Abe and Park Geun-hye settled an agreement to help former comfort women, yet no victims were consulted at the agreement did not reflect their demands. Abe later reaffirmed his stance that the comfort women system was not a war crime. In October 2018, South Korea's Supreme Court issued an opinion that Japanese corporations that use slave labor from Korea during World War II must pay $89,000 in reparations to surviving slave laborers. In response, Abe declared a trade war. Under Abe, the government revoked subsidies for schools for Koreans in Japan, taking a hard line against Koreans in Japan. The Koreans experience systemic discrimination and hardships. Abe also targeted Okinawa, suffering doubly under Japanese colonialism and U.S. imperialism. In 2019, Abe agreed to relocate the U.S. military base in Okinawa, despite over 70% of its people voting against it in a referendum. And the list goes on and on and on. And here's the funniest thing. Yes, just like Lady Sorrow said, Biden called him a good friend. He's also very good friends with Donald Trump. He also at one point tweeted out that he has information to arrest Hillary Clinton, who, like, I mean, I welcome that information, but also, like, you can tell that this guy is just a fucking imperialist. Mm-hmm. This guy is just another piece of shit politician, and was fucking murdered today.
Well, and it's always fascinating to me the way that media, the second like a politician dies, no matter how horrible and corrupt they are, they will attempt to paint them with a beautifully light color, and try to make their reign as beatific as possible, and just completely discount beatific. I'm gonna go with that word. It might not be correct at all, but I'm gonna go with it, and just completely discount all of the horrendous things that they've done. Which is just disturbing to watch happen. And it happens every single time.
So you're going to be seeing a lot of stuff out there about this guy saying that he was, every leader's, great friend and things like that. This is just more fodder to know that, like, these people are all pieces of shit. They are all pieces of shit. None of them are fucking good. Everything is fucking horrible.
Yeah, that's inspirational, Tony.
I mean, that's whatever.
That's an inspirational thing to tell the world. Everyone is a piece of shit.
Everyone is a piece of shit, except our wonderful listeners.
Yeah, and the Spice Girls.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right. Do we need a little bit more of those those wonderful Tibetan singing bowls?
Yeah, let's take a Tibetan singing bowl.
Let's just take a quick little.
Let's.
Just kind of move your arms in circular motions. Can I tell you a story, Tony?
Sure.
I was in Orange County these past 2 days. And when I was there, I saw like 7 different tents set up, selling Trump merch. And the people behind the tents were the saddest looking white people I think I've ever seen. They looked like they'd only been drinking vanilla bean frappuccinos for the last 24 hours, and I giggled.
All right, everybody. So we're going to give Brandon per episode one time to say the stupidest, whitest shit ever.
Yes! I have an allotment of stupid white boy shit. Because, as we said at the beginning of the show, what did we say?
You're an idiot?
I'm an OC trash boy. Come on, remember our intro.
Okay, so he's got his one. That's it. It's over. All right, we're going to move on. We're going to move on to our next story. So much happening abroad. Maybe we should take a gander, take a listen, and see what else other people think. We're looking at democracy abroad. Let's look at how outside of the U.S. views the U.S. Here is an Irish politician. You may have seen this, but here is an Irish politician who recently started talking about how our democracy might not be functioning here in the good old U.S. of A.
What?
Let's take a listen.
A woman's right to choose is a human right. Why are we so quiet about challenging the US when they threaten human rights? Some people have said in here, oh, we can't be, how dare we talk about the US? Well, we talk about everybody.
First of all,
It's the best look I've ever seen from a
this is how
politician.
every politician should look. Mm-hmm. I demand all of us, every politician, to dress like this: pink tank tops.
Yep.
And wily hair.
Wily hair.
God, I love the accent. Okay, all right. Let's actually listen to what the fuck he has to say.
As we do this, can we also remember that the national animal of Ireland is a unicorn?
Great.
Thank you. I just wanted to remember that
Excellent.
on the place.
All right, let's get back to it.
Challenging. Some people have said in here, oh, we can't be, how dare we talk about the US? Well, we talk about everybody else. Is the US a functioning democracy? Well, let's have a look at it. It costs $2 billion to become president. They're 25% of the total prisoners in the world. They spend over $800 billion a year on arms, which is more than most of the world put together. They've been at war for 250 years since their state was formed 275 years ago. But they can't afford universal health care. They can't afford the 1.7 trillion debt forgiveness for students. They can't afford a program for the 17 million children that go to bed hungry. Is this a functioning democracy? What's your idea of a democracy? Bernie Sanders wasn't even allowed to win the nomination for the Democrats. The Americans couldn't spell democracy.
I mean, he right.
He very right. He also, I noticed this time through, is rocking the one hanging earring look.
Yeah, I mean, holy fuck. There's so much to like unpack in that sentence, but like, the U.S. is not a functioning democracy. If we were a functioning democracy, we wouldn't have things like the United States Senate and the Supreme Court. Neither of those would be in a representative democracy, because they are not representative. Yes, that earring. He is
bisexual here.
absolutely. We've been, I mean, he makes so many goddamn good points in that. We've been at war for 250 out of the 275 years that we've been a country. So that's how the outside world views our country. Isn't that great?
There we go. It's my favorite thing. I love reading the Twitter threads where people are like, we need him in Congress. I'm like, I don't think he wants to be in the American government system. I think he would rather stay where he is.
I mean, because he has things like healthcare.
Yeah.
And things like childcare.
Yeah.
So of course, why wouldn't he? No, God, no. We need more people in this country to actually like wake up about what the fuck every other fucking country. We talked about this last week, but like every other country outside of this country teaches that the United States has two conservative parties. Mm-hmm. Right. And we talked a lot last week about our slow descent into Christo-fascism in this country. So much fun.
It was a good time. We had a few laughs and giggles and existential crises.
We had some goofs.
We had some goofs. But Tony, I actually was thinking about this. I forgot. Did we end up booking our guest speaker? No, never mind. That bit's not happening then.
This is a bit that Brandon wanted. So
I thought
badly.
it would be a good bit.
There's
and
a better bit in the chat. Okay, so Caleb is your new name, bro. Caleb says that the UN should start a politician draft worldwide, like for football or something. If you're the UN, who do you draft as a politician? We're drafting for the UN.
We're drafting for the UN.
Yeah, United Nations. So, and let's open this up a little bit. Absolutely anybody in history. Your first pick, if you're the UN, any politician in history, start a political draft.
It was the Spice Girls, but that pick gets denied and shot down, so I go 90s Bernie Sanders.
90s Bernie Sanders.
Yes.
Why?
Because I think in the 90s he was like we were just talking about. He's much more critical of the state. He's fighting for much more progressive policies that are actually, I think, if put through in the 90s, create real effectual change. He's much more purposeful, and he's just more youthful. I think he is able to fight in a much stronger way, where I think today, just with his age, people just don't trust that if we were to put him in a higher place, that he would be able to survive. I mean, it was the classic argument against him in 2016. It was the argument against him in 2020. And I think if you have 90s Bernie Sanders today, he is completely reinventing the systems that we have, because people would trust his longevity.
Cool. I like it. I like the pick.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
It's a solid. It's a safe pick, but it's a good pick. Well, what's your pick, Tony?
Che Guevara.
Pick.
I will pick anybody who kills Colonia. So not to say that I would do that.
That's just something we want to make sure we point out, that we're not
Che
going to
Guevara.
do that. I would also say, not a politician, Ernest Hemingway, because he spent a lot of time.
That's your second pick.
That's my second pick, is Ernest Hemingway, because he spent a lot of time on a boat in Cuba hunting Nazi submarines. And I'm just a big fan of anyone who does that. He also did a lot of killing of bears. Did you know that? Killed a lot of bears.
So my next pick is like, it's got to be Marx, right? Or Mao, right? Because I love the killing of the landlords thing. But like, I guess I have to go Marx and then Mao. Those are my picks 2 and 3.
Oh, you're doing 2 and 3? Okay, well then my third pick, I'm gonna go. I think it might be a good pick. Might be in the rough weeds. Hopefully, I'm thinking of it correctly. Hugo Chavez.
Hugo Chavez?
I believe so.
Okay. We're gonna get banned, and I'm gonna keep talking about this. But yeah, that's a cool couple of cats, I think.
Ban us.
Yeah.
Twitch, do it.
No.
We dare you.
Don't dare Twitch to ban us. They will.
Twitch is here. They're
will.
listening.
Brandon, I have some breaking news.
What?
I have actual breaking news.
What?
Okay, don't yell.
What?
It just broke. Elon Musk tells Twitter he is terminating his acquisition of the company. The mogul wrote a letter to the social media platform on Friday claiming the company is in breach of the merger agreement. Elon told Twitter on Friday that he is terminating his proposed acquisition of the social media company, arguing in a letter that I literally just read that. Why is this giving me the same information over again? Musk's letter says he wants out of the deal, quote, because Twitter is in material breach of multiple provisions of that agreement, appears to have made false and misleading representations upon which Mr. Musk relied when entering into the merger agreement, and is likely to suffer a company material adverse effect, as the term is defined in the merger agreement. First of all, this is fucking, I don't want Elon to buy anything else. Okay, because here's the problem with fucking Elon Musk.
Give us the problem with Elon Musk. Hey, folks. Hey, everyone. This is the rant warning. I'm just going to give everyone a quick rant warning.
We need like siren. We'll work on it for next episodes. But
we're going to get some
sirens. Elon Musk has never fucking invented anything in his entire goddamn life. Okay, Elon Musk only has money because his parents gave him all that money by making it off of apartheid in South Africa. Okay, this motherfucker just buys companies and then everyone's like, oh, he invented it, like he's the inventor of Tesla and PayPal and things like that. No, he fucking didn't. Both of those things existed before Elon Musk comes in. The Elon Musk is a fucking piece of shit. That is like my number one. Like, if we had to put up people in a particular stage in front of a wide crowd with a large wooden structural object that, would do some particular action that might make that crowd explode in joy and glee. He is fucking enemy number one. Elon Musk is not your friend. Every fucking stupid ass fanboy who thinks, oh, Elon Musk is the greatest motherfucker in the world. You're a fucking idiot. You're a corporate stooge. You suck the fucking dick of billionaires. Get the cock out of your fucking mouth and think for yourself for a second, you stupid motherfucker.
And time. Oh, can we get a quick round of applause? He did that in one breath.
I didn't even talk about how he fucking did a right-wing political coup on fucking Bolivia, right? Bolivia, that's country where my family's from. Half of my family is from that country. He backed a right-wing political military coup in Bolivia, because Bolivia was going to open up their lithium mines, right, and allow people to mine it, but it was going to be owned by the people of Bolivia. And then once that happened, the military coup happened, they got rid of the socialist president, it was all fucking backed by fucking Elon Musk and other motherfuckers, because they know they need this fucking lithium in order to do anything. They're so fucking greedy. And I just want to, oh God.
And time again. That was the second round of Tony Rant. He might be recharged for round 3. It is a 3-period system like hockey. I think Tony still might have the lead, but we shall see if he can survive. How you feeling, bud?
I don't want to talk about Elon Musk anymore. I'm just glad that he's fucking not buying Twitter. If you think Elon Musk is cool, go fuck yourself.
That's it. That's all we have.
I've chilled. I've cooled. I could talk about so many more things about Elon Musk. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to talk about Elon Musk. I'm just going to...
He is currently, as this, because this is meant for an auditory medium, he is currently Googling something that I don't know what's happening. But we will find out in the coming times. But as he's doing this, I'm just going to do a little bit of a commentary on my thoughts. I thought my dance moves were pretty good during the rant. The vibes were nice. I think next time I would do a little bit more swaying. I think that's where I'm at with that. And as he's pulled this up, and Tony, take it away.
Don't just say,
but we need your support, Tony. I think you do need to say something.
Needs my fucking support. I don't need to say anything. I just need to show this picture. And I'm going to cut this out of the podcast because nobody's going to be able to say that. Nobody's going to be able to hear this picture. I'm just going to put this picture up here. All right, I'm done.
See, joke's on him is that I'm editing the podcast, so he has no control over whether or not this will be in the podcast, because though it is an auditory medium, this is still part of Tony's Rants, our new favorite segment.
Let's take a goof break.
Let's take a quick goof break. Let's take a goof break, folks. I will say I was still really excited for one of the goofs I had. We were going to do a whole bit about one of us was going to be a UN politician, but I guess that got cut for time, and that's fine.
You know what? I got it. All right, perfect. We're going to talk about James Caan.
Oh, James Caan. That is a good goof break.
R.I.P. to a real one.
The star of Elf.
Yes.
He's the star of Elf.
He has done nothing other than
It
that.
was just, he did Elf 12 times.
So, R.I.P. to James Caan. Like so many of the stories coming out about James Caan. But this is by far my favorite story that's come out about James Caan.
Do you mind if I read this one?
Go for it.
Thank you so much. This is from Twitter account Babyboy Monaghan. Don't know how to pronounce the last one. I think I've mentioned it before on this site, but James Caan used to rent from the video place where I worked in Westwood, and so I had many encounters with him, all terrifying and memorable. My two favorites: Elliot Gould came into the store one day in a stocking cap. Elliot Gould came into the store one day in a stocking cap and asked if Caan had an account. I said yes, and he asked if he could use it. I said I had to call Caan to get approval. I called the number on his account and immediately got James Caan. Elliot Gould is here and wants to rent you on. Elliot Gould is here and wants to rent in your account. I said, Elliot is where? He said, and then fuck it. Whatever he wants, I don't give a shit. Story 2. Caan often brought videos up to the counter and just threw them in front of me. What's this? He'd ask. I don't know if he was a little far-sighted or just couldn't be bothered. I'd read the name of the video and he'd stare at me blankly. What? He'd asked. So I'd read it again. What's it about? He'd say. I'd describe the film. What? He'd say, and I'd describe it again. Once he threw down a movie in front of me. It was Rollerball. What's this? Rollerball. What? Rollerball. What's it about? I flipped it over and read the back. James Caan stars in what? James Caan stars in, God damn it, that's one of mine.
I didn't even know like his own fucking movies.
Because it wasn't Elf. He only knew that he was in the movie Elf. Everything else was a part of a simulation.
Didn't rant about Elf.
I didn't rant about Elf.
Go ahead.
People haven't seen the movie Elf. And he's walking away. At least I stayed on camera during my rant. The movie Elf deserves more praise. It gets a lot. It gets a lot of praise. I'm not a big Christmas boy, but James Caan in Elf is one of the best parts of the movie. It's a great flick. It's so very funny. And James Caan and him and Will Ferrell bounce off each other so magically. He's so he's so funny. He's so serious. But James Caan in that movie is a bright light. And they wanted to do a sequel to Elf, but Will Ferrell said no because he didn't want to just do a sequel for no reason. I think that it would have been a great sequel. I would have paid to see James Caan and Will Ferrell on screen again, doing some goofs, doing some shenanigans, because that movie was great. Him singing, dressed as Santa Claus, towards the end of that movie. Spoiler alerts for Elf, if you haven't seen the movie. But let me tell you, when he sings that song at the end of the movie, it's glorious.
Shut the fuck up, Chimes.
Oh, wow. What's the bird on there again?
It's a fucking pelican.
It's a fucking pelican. I thought it was a toucan when I bought it because I don't know my birds.
Christmas is a scam. You're right, Lady Sorrow.
We all know it's a capitalist scam.
Everything is a fucking capitalist scam.
Yeah, okay, this podcast is a capitalist scam.
I'm not exploiting any labor.
Just your own.
It's not exploiting. I'm willingly doing this. Oh, no. That's our goof.
I think it was a good goof. On our goof scale, I give it a ha.
We've got to determine a goof scale. All right, so let's move on to our next depressing topic. Oh boy.
Actually, wait, we have... There is other breaking news.
Oh, there's more breaking news.
There's other breaking news that came out right before the podcast. Biden has signed an executive order protecting abortion rights and access to contraception, which is fantastic news. We love to finally see them doing something after God knows how long of them just completely standing by inaction.
Yeah, well, because they fucking said that they were going to do something and anything. I mean, last week, if you were here last week, you saw all of the different videos, the video of Kamala Harris being like, why not do something now? And she's like, do what now? Like, fucking this. You're supposed to be doing this. You're supposed to be doing executive orders. These things should have happened the second that Roe versus Wade was overturned. They should have been prepared because the fucking leak was 5 weeks ago. Before the overturning,
close to a month and a half ago, Tony came this close to ranting again. We almost had to do a new game of Tony rant, and I will refuse to do another game of Tony rant. He gets one. I get one. White boy trash. He gets one rant. We each get one. Everybody gets one.
Boy.
Oh, okay, that's. Anyway, I mean, I can't argue with it.
I can't call you things because I guess you're gonna ban for that on Twitch.
It's fine. You can just write them down and show them to me if you want.
Anyway, Biden released this executive order today. It will likely be struck down by the Supreme Court again, which means he can release another executive order, and then it gets struck down again, and it's going to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until they finally codify this. I don't know. I mean,
I don't think it's going to happen.
It's something, but I worry that this is like the only thing that they're going to do.
Well, and at the same time, I'll also say I'm always very skeptical when stuff like this comes at the same time as other bad news, because while this was announced and signed, we also had it revealed that Biden will also be finishing the border wall in the United States, and it was just it's always that thing where I see, good news comes out and it's just immediately followed by bad news to hope to stamp out the shitty, horrible things that they're doing.
Amber's got it right. It's more performative bullshit. This is more about them showing, look, we did a thing, and then instead of actually enacting any change. That is like the Democrats' MO in this fucking place.
It's been their MO for fucking years.
In case you missed it a few days ago, a new Biden border wall plans would put an end to Friendship Park. That's right. Newly revealed plans to replace the San Diego border fence at Friendship Park would block access to the space people used for decades to meet loved ones separated by the border. Advocates from Friends of Friendship Park said U.S. Customs and Border Protection officials told them that the primary and secondary border fences along the park will be replaced by 30-foot walls. The new designs do not include a pedestrian gate. This latest announcement really amounts to the complete desecration of this historic location. In an email response to questions from a KPBS reporter, Border Patrol officials confirmed plans to build a new fence around the area around Friendship Park, saying that the current fencing is no longer structurally sound. However, they did not answer questions regarding future public access to the area. Yeah, this is, and if you don't know, Friends of Friendship Park, they're terrific. They make sure that they have access, that families have access to each other. Yeah, the full press release is here. The U.S. Border Patrol says they are just replacing walls at Friendship Park, but the proposed construction amounts to a permanent closure of the U.S. side of this historic location. Plans to launch construction at Friendship Park are nearing completion and will extend the 30-foot bollard-style walls that were erected to the east of the park in 2019. Expected to begin within a matter of weeks, construction would complete a project funded by the fiscal year 2018 using designs authorized by the Trump administration. The first system of double border walls in this historic location, constructed between 2009 and 2011, included several design concessions in recognition of its unique historical and cultural significance. This is fucking bad, y'all. This is horrible. Like, this is the Trump administration doing the exact same thing that the Biden administration doing the exact same fucking thing that the Trump administration does. When Biden, before he was elected, told that meeting, and then that piece of like that, the thing that he said that was leaked, when he said nothing will fundamentally change, is true. Believe him when he talks about himself like that. These people don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about immigrants. They don't give a fuck about humanity. They only give a fuck about money and appearance. That's it. Am I doing enough, or did I do more performative bullshit, as Amber says, in order to, like, yeah, exactly, Amber. Like, what more proof does the public fucking need that they don't give a fuck about you? I don't understand. Now, I have seen a lot more people over the past with the overturning of Roe versus Wade, with this border wall announcement, with all of the crappy things that have happened over the past few years. There's a lot more people that are like, fuck this place. But there are still fucking morons out there who would rather tell you that you have to, you have to fucking vote, or otherwise, we're all going to shit. We're all going to shit anyway.
We've been going to shit for the last 2 decades, if not longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like everyone said, like, yeah, it's performative, but that's not a new trend. I mean, the performative nature of shit like this, and you can't say it better. You said it, and I can't say it better. Is that nothing was ever going to change when he was elected? It was just going to be a continuation of the horrible nature of the things that were set in motion. And to create true effectual change is somehow finding a way of making politics non-performative. And I don't know if there are politicians currently in power who are able to do that. I don't think there isn't a performative politician right now in power that actually wants to create effectual change and isn't just lying through their teeth on a consistent basis. Good times.
I fucking hate this place. I fucking hate this place so much.
But what makes us happier? I know Tony loves them. In the midst, let's just do a little bit more of a goof to try to lighten this good sad mood. Tony loves fireworks. Tony loves explosions.
I love explosions.
He loves explosions.
I say that I love fireworks. I love explosions.
Yeah, he loves explosions. And there's a video that he found on the Twitter of just one of his favorite things.
You guys, if you're gonna handle explosives, please know what the fuck you should be doing.
That video just reminds me of, do you remember 10 years ago when San Diego lit off all of their fireworks at one time?
They let off something like 7,000 to 10,000 fireworks at once.
And it is just one of my favorite videos because it looks like the sky parts and the end of days looks like it's coming at San Diego, which would make sense for San Diego. That the end of days might start there.
Truly is the video of some eldritch horror shit. Opening a portal to hell in San Diego. If you've never seen it, check it out.
Speaking of eldritch horror end of days, we got a question from PB and Jello on the Instagram, and they asked us, and they asked all of us in the chat. If you have answers, you can let us know as well. But they asked, if you were in the apocalypse, what would your strategy be? What would you do?
What would you do?
If I'm starting in LA, I think I'd get the fuck out of LA. It's a little bit too congested. I wouldn't go to Costco. I think everyone's going to go to Costco. Everyone's going to go to those big name stores. And that's going to be just a dangerous time.
Club.
Or Sam's Club. No, I would go to the 99-cent store or five and below and raid that for supplies. And I bet you can find some food in a 99-cent store and survive. And I would drive to either Idaho. I would drive to maybe Missouri. And I would just try to survive
amongst your white people?
No, I would live amongst the wood people, which is, yes, white people, the white wood people. But I would also just try to survive with my expert training as a Life Scout, Boy Scout. And I'm a well-trained survivalist. I got my couple different badges. And I
have a bug out bag.
Oh, I got a bug out bag. It's got 2 Hostess Twinkies. It's got 2 rolls of duct tape, 2 flashlights, and 2 just pieces of paper that say, "Dear God, pray for us all," that I'm going to drop on the road behind me. Is that a bug out bag?
That is, that sounds like your bug out bag.
That sounds like an OC Trash Boy bug out bag. What's your plan, though, Tony? How would you survive the great apocalypse? I feel like you would just start to rule the wasteland of your own creation.
For sure. I definitely, would want, you definitely want to, create a community of, anarchists, I think, for sure, for me. I think, you teach them sustainability things. I know how to, grow produce and food and things like that. And you need you obviously need protection. I have firearm training in my life, so I think that's important too. I think, definitely, if we're going to enter an era of anarchy, fuck yeah, let's do it.
He's been waiting for this for a decade.
I truly have been waiting. I am sitting on my stoop, right, on my chair, waiting for Anarch era. Amber's going to be in the ceramic studio making vessels for the community. Yeah, vessels are great. We're going to need vessels.
We need pots. You can't make a pot in a ceramic studio. That's not a thing you can make. But anyways, a pot?
Yeah.
Like a cooking pot?
Yes.
In a ceramic studio?
Have you not ever? Yeah, for gas.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I got Life Scout. I didn't get Boy Scout. I wasn't an Eagle Scout. Here's my question though, Tony. Would you stay in LA? Because you didn't mention where you would locate this commune of people.
Right. I think. This is a great zone for growing things. So I think probably I would maybe not stay within the city, but I would probably move to move to the near mountains, the mountains